The 40th President of the United States.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Those are the words of Ronald Reagan in 1987 at the Brandenburg Gate in Germany. His speech was about freedom and world peace, and the Berlin Wall symbolized communism, which was in direct opposition of the freedom and world peace that the United States was seeking. The wall was built to keep the East Germans that were held by the Soviet Union from crossing the border into West Germany, which was held by Allied forces. The wall was 66 miles of concrete fortified with barbed wire, and it was built August 13th, 1948, overnight, using just barbed wire to start out with to prevent people from crossing the border. The wall separated families and livelihoods and created such chaos in Germany. President Reagan visited the wall in 1990. The borders were open in 1989, and he made some symbolic hammering to the wall to demonstrate the United States' commitment to freedom. Ronald Reagan, known as Dutch, was born February 6, 1911 in Tampico, Illinois. His father was a shoe salesman and also an abuser of alcohol. Reagan became a film and television actor and married Jane Wyman, and 2 children were produced from that marriage. They divorced, and Mr. Reagan married Nancy Davis in 1952. Several businessmen thought that Mr. Reagan should run for governor of California, and so he did, and he became the governor of California, and then he became the President of the United States in 1981, serving 2 terms from 1981 to 1989. President Reagan was the oldest sworn president at the age of 69 in 1981. 3 months after his inauguration in January of 1981, on March 30th, President Reagan was shot by Robert Hinckley Jr. Robert Hinckley Jr. shot President Reagan to try to gain the attention of the actress Jodie Foster. President Reagan had a speedy recovery, and he joked to his wife Nancy, which he called Mother, that he forgot to duck. There was also a Secret Service agent that was shot and paralyzed in this incident. Ronald Reagan is credited with ending the Cold War with the signing of the 1987 nuclear arms treaty with the Soviet Union. Ronald Reagan was a great communicator, and people wanted to listen to him speak. He had the ability to put people at ease and make us all feel as if we knew each other and him. In my opinion, his modest style won him a 2nd term as president and the hearts of the people he served. He possessed a truly genuine spirit. On January 28, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded after launch. All 7 astronauts perished. I personally remember watching the launch of the Challenger on TV and was stunned to view the shuttle explode. Because of his larger-than-life presence, President Reagan was able to take this incident, and rather than deliver the State of the Union address that evening of the explosion, he instead delivered a heartfelt speech remembering the 7 lost lives. From that speech is the following quote: "The crew of the Space Shuttle Challenger honored us by the manner in which they lived their lives. We will never forget them or the last time we saw them this morning as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye and slipped the slowly bonds of earth to touch the face of God." I heard this speech in my living room and was brought to tears by President Reagan's words. Just as reading them today brings me right back to that moment. Ronald Reagan passed away on June 5, 2004, after suffering from Alzheimer's, a hateful disease that leaves its victims confused and fearful. I choose to remember Ronald Reagan as a great leader and a man who made us believe all things are possible if you are humble and try to do the right thing. Thank you.